I've been wanting to make a video for a while on the basics of a classic side lock muzzle loading rifle from beginning to end, A to Z. So loading, firing, and cleaning. What I'm going to be using, this is my Traditions Whitetail. It's a 50 caliber. Really nice gun in my opinion. I've really enjoyed shooting it. It's got some modern features, kind of combine a modern, a new, and an old gun. Recoil pad, which I'm not sure it's really necessary. Adjustable rear sight. Shoulder strap hooks. Would make for a good deer hunting rifle. So things you're going to need, if you aren't already into this kind of shooting, you're going to need Pyrodex. You're going to need, I use round ball just because I like the traditional way of doing things. You're going to need patch. I like using lubricated patch to help clean the barrel in between each shot. And you're going to need percussion caps. I'm using Remington number 10s. You're going to need a powder flask. And then things I would recommend getting, I prefer using a powder measure. This is adjustable, so you can adjust it to how much powder you want and pour that down the barrel. And I use this holder for percussion caps, and I'll go over all that why at the time. This is a ball starter, so you don't have to use your ramrod right away. Not a big deal with ball usually, especially this barrel. They go in pretty easy. So let's get the gun out and start loading it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to half cock. First click. Cannot pull the trigger. That is like a safety on a side lock firearm. You cannot go off half cocked. Okay. I'm going to take my percussion cap and I'm going to put that on the nipple just like this. See that? And I'm going to pull straight off so you can see the percussion cap on the nipple. I personally would not use my thumb to push that on there, because there are stories of guys doing that and it goes off. They push hard enough, the cap goes off. It's just like a cap gun cap, and it pops the end of their thumb off. So we want to keep our thumbs, don't we? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim this at the ground. Full cock, it's ready to fire, but there is only a percussion cap. It is not loaded. And we're going to fire it at the ground and clean that barrel out. Okay. Now I have a powder flask full of powder. Some guys hold that upside down and open it and measure their powder with the end of the flask, and then put that in the end of the barrel. Put this in the end of the barrel and dump it in. To me, that's like putting a pipe bomb into a fire and holding the whole thing. Chances are it would never blow up in your face, but I'd rather be sure about that. So I use the powder measure. I think I have it preset to 70 grain. I can't remember right now. But I open the flask, I fill that full. All full of powder. Hold the barrel up and we dump the powder in. Now the powder is right down in here. We want that powder to go sideways to the bottom of the nipple. So hold the gun over and give it a little tap. That fills this chamber full of the grains. We need that spark from the percussion cap to go right down into the powder. If you don't tap it, it's possible you just have an air pocket here. Now we're going to take our patch, if I can get just one. Take our ball, get it on the center. Start that down with the ramrod. Now I have scribed on my ramrod a line. As long as I'm getting that on camera, yeah. That's where I want the end of the barrel to be. I want to make sure I consistently get that ball that far down into the barrel. And that looks good. Sometimes you have to tamp. Place the ramrod. Now the gun is loaded, except for the percussion cap. That's the last thing we want to do. So once again, clip one in place. I'm at half cock, so I place that over the nipple, pull straight out. This gun is ready to fire. Well, you went and shot it, and now what do? Pyrodex black powder is some of the most corrosive propellant there is inside the bore of a gun. So you've got to get it out of there, I would say, as soon as you're done shooting. So if you cannot do that, then this type of shooting is probably not for you. But there are a few things I use. This is called bore butter, some type of bore cleaner gel. This is a rust preventive spray. And this is anti-seize stick. Use that on the threads of the nipple. You'll need a cleaning rod, an end to use for a patch, bore brush. This is to clean. This is a nipple cleaner. This is a homemade nipple wrench. Some patch. This gun requires a standard screwdriver, a nylon toothbrush type brush, and rags. And also a bucket for boiling water. Do not use your wife's pot in the kitchen and clean your gun with it. Get another container that you can use again. So I'm going to remove the ramrod, get it out of the way. I'm going to start with the bore brush on the end of the rod, just like you would any other gun. And get all those deposits loosened up in there. Now I'm going to remove the lock, which takes 2 screws on the back side, or on the left side of the gun. There's your lock. Where are you? Now we'll remove the barrel. We have a pin here that needs to be removed, so I'll push this out. I started it out. It's a bit like disassembling a shotgun. There's also a screw here you could take out, but you can also lift and pull. And on this particular gun, there's also a clip down here that snaps onto your ramrod when you shove it in through the stock. So I got to get that the right way. So here we go, got boiling hot water. Whoa. I'm going to take a cleaning rod and put the patch end on it. I'm going to stick the whole butt end of the barrel down in the water. My patch over the end. I'll shove that down there. Let me give you a better look at what's going on here. Okay, down by the brush, see the nipple down there? Okay, I'm pulling the ramrod out, pushing. As you can see, the water is getting quite black. There's a nice dirty patch. And the reason I use boiling hot water is just like when you rinse dishes with hot water, they dry themselves. This hot water will dry very quickly inside the bore of the gun. Patch is much cleaner. Let's do one more. That water's so dirty now that the patch won't ever stay completely white. So you could reboil more clean water and it would stay clean for you. But I'm going to call that good. So right now this barrel is very hot to touch. I'm going to take my nipple wrench, remove the nipple, take my nipple cleaner. It's just got a wire. Clean that hole out of there. Get all the deposits out of there. And use my hot water and brush. Clean the threads. Now the nipple is clean. I'm going to take my brush again, hot water, and clean all the deposits off the hammer and the lock. Now there's one more thing with a lot of deposits on it yet. It's very dirty. It's where the nipple goes into the butt end of the barrel. So we'll get that good with the hot water. Wipe it down. Now I'm going to take the bore butter, put it on the patch. That got a little crazy. that upside down. Run that down. Let's use the next one. We're going to keep going until we have a clean patch. I'm going to take this anti-seize lubricant and just get a little bit on the threads of the nipple. And reinstall that. And be careful to get those threads started straight. Wipe it off. I'm going to take some of my oil, rust preventive spray, spray it on a rag, and get everything oiled down here. So the barrel is cleaned and oiled on the inside and out. We should get no rust at all. Now I usually take the same and go over the wood on the stock. Some powder deposits like to form around where the hammer is. Be sure to clean that good. Now the lock. I'm going to spray it extra good in there and leave it and not wipe it out. And then my little parts. Screws. Okay. So I'm down to the lock, stock, and barrel, 3 parts of the gun. First thing I need to do on this model is I'm going to start my ramrod clip. I'm going to put one of the lock screws and run it through there so that stays in place. I'm going to get my barrel set. Okay. Now I'm going to put the lock in. Start the screw. Get that nice and tight, and then go back to the first one and get it nice and tight. Okay, now I need to put the pin back in through the barrel. Tap, make sure it stays in, and that's all there is to it. So I need a ramrod in, and there we go. The only thing left to do is I keep it in the fired position with a patch on it. So there you go. That is how I load, fire, and clean my side-lock muzzle loading rifle. I want to say two things before I end this video. First of all, I am not responsible for any stupidity. When I bought this, I learned from others how to shoot it, I read about it, and then I gained experience. Please do the same if you have no experience with this type of rifle. This is a deadly weapon. It can kill you or other people just like any other gun. So be responsible, learn about it, talk to others about it, and go learn how to do it safely. And the other thing I'd like to say is, of everything every gun I've ever shot, I have never gotten more personal enjoyment out of shooting than with one of these. For some reason, it just really, it's just really enjoyable for me. It's like shooting off a little miniature cannon. But I probably also would have made a great mountain man 200 years ago. So it just fits my personality. So there you go. Hope this video was helpful to you. And go out and be safe. Thanks for watching.
You call yourself a patriot and loyal subject to the crown?
Do not call myself subject to much at all.